Oh, that is not focused. Holy moly. Hey, friends. Well, let's... Oh no, autofocus was... Oh my gosh, that's... Hold on. There we go. Much more betterer. Goodness. Yeah. Magical fairy forest kind of vibes. Alright, so... Woo! That is water everywhere. Hello! It was under the keyboard, not on the keyboard. All favors. Alright, I have my towel. For sculpt. Accidents happen. Keyboard is okay. I'm gonna choose to believe that this is not a sign of things to come. We are working today. I don't want to say redoing, but rebuilding our jackalope. Thrilled with the way it came out, and then I went to go mold it, and it just... plaster was absolutely not cooperating. So it became a, alright, well, let me see if I can get one cast out of this mold. Absolute garbage mold. Even if it's not a clean cast, because I could then go back and up the cast and try for round 2, which is pretty much where we're at right now. So I'm just wrapping our mummified. Looking a little lumpy, but that's okay. We'll fix. I do need more water now. Oh, huzzah! That past me did future me a favor. It's always nice to discover. Alright, rings are off, bracelets are off. All jewelry or things that can get gunked up by clay are off. Little, okay. Things. Oh, this is clay that was dried out and I put in a plastic baggie with a spritz to try and rehydrate it. And it worked! Though, perhaps a tiny bit too well. It's not necessarily more firm. Okay. We're gonna move my water out of the way. So, let's see, what have we got? Base the lamp that I like. So, ta-da! Ah, sure. Get away from her. Hmm. Alright. So we're gonna concentrate on still good. Our legs are some face definitely. Alright, so I guess let's just get into it, Gonna get to sitting staring. So I have my more than what I've got over. I have my white slip, white clay. So let's see. Out. Buzzum. Not that it really functionally makes kiln, but oh, that's right. You're hollow. You are a slipcast. Oh, and that's so much. Okay. Yeah. Solid. It functionally matter if I've got air bubbles inside. It'll look bumpy. Final sculpt. End up just need enough plaster here too and mold. I'm not being super precious. Just play it there. Oh, that way they have a bit of privacy. Place. Sure enough. It can work. Doesn't just. Part of that is I had it wrapped. It stayed damp enough to be two at dry. But clearly, sure. The fact that it's hollow, kind of a wee bit squashy. Trying to. Brush. Go. Too deep a bit there. It is Bunny Friend. Hey Zay, how you doing, hon? It's Bunny Friend Part 2. As molding, I was saying, went absolutely catastrophically bad. The plaster was not cooperating. It was setting way too fast, and so I ended up with a hideous lumpy mold, which you can kind of see on the side of the face. Oh, wait. This is just not good. Good. Long weekends are nice. Let's see. Get some. Is the weather at least nice by you? We have had rain thus far. A portion of Friday, all day Saturday, and then all day today. Although that made it much easier when going open houses, looking at properties and going, oh, the rain's pooling over here by the walkway. Oh, pooling over here by the driveway near the foundation, the steps. It does tend to expose some problem areas before you buy, so that's kind of nice, I guess. It is a good time to go inspect properties. It was just one. It was an open house that had dropped yesterday, and I went, huh. Alright, well, I mean, it's cute. And oh my gosh, basement's finished. That's so neat. Oh, and there's bathrooms. That's really cool. We got there, and it was a bathroom, like a full bathroom upstairs, and a toilet and a sink downstairs, and a closet. It very much looks like they had framed out what was going to be a shower, and then they just kind of decided not to, so they put a shower, or not a shower, a clothing bar across the top on the inside, and didn't bother to put a shower insert or tilet or anything, and it was just kind of a weird little closet in the bathroom, which was interesting. I was like, oh, this is listed as 2 bathrooms, right? Look at the paperwork. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's 2. It's kind of 2. It could be a shower. That's where my state is at for real estate at this point. My god, it's like, oh well, here's you know, a $300,000 house. Well, it could be a shower, you know, do it yourself. It was a very batteries not included kind of moment. I was like, oh, okie doke. Also, what they were very optimistic calling a bedroom that had very obviously had a, well, we're gonna portion off a little tiny portion of the room and give it a closet so that it counts as a 3rd bedroom. But really, it's you could fit a desk in there. If on your desk, that might be. Oh, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. It sucks too, because it was a mostly finished basement, which would have been great for space. But it was weirdly finished, if that makes sense. It was like they had handyman specialed the basement. They put down laminate flooring, which, okay, it's inexpensive and it's, you know, durable. It holds up to some abuse. That would be great for a studio. But then there were weird sections of the basement that were like walled off. They decided they didn't want to look at their electrical panel. Okay, cool. So they walled that area off, so it ended up being like a weird little closet. Like it was a long, skinny closet. They kind of gassed out on the 2nd bathroom becoming an actual full bathroom, which, I mean, it's still a toilet, so, you know, showering in someone's body, that's not a bad thing. But it was weird. And it was not accurate in the listing. You don't get to put 2 bathrooms if it's some assembly required. Yeah, that was the other thing. There was, it's funny because there was a light switch, like there was electrical panel near the fuse box. But when I flick the switch, nothing happened. So it's like, oh, so we are checking our fuses in the dark. That's fun. And then whereas they had finished off the rest of the basement, they, again, just kind of threw up some studs and put up some drywall, put up a wall, where the fuel tank and water heater and furnace were. So that was another, like, oh, okay. No lights. None. So if you want someone to come and service your furnace, they are doing it in the dark or bringing headlamps or a flashlight. This is weird, man. It was giving Time Life books, you know, we want a finished basement. Want that? Or there was a sink. There was not like a little farmhouse shop basin sink. There was a full-on sink with a full-on like counter that was next to the washer dryer, separated by half a wall. It was weird. It was really weird. Very much we're gonna just kind of divide off the basement a whole bunch of different. And I'm sure it worked for them, and that's cool. But I went up to the agent after looking at the basement, and I was like, so, oh yeah. This, legit, this is not even the weirdest that we've seen. And it probably won't be the weirdest that we will see, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah, there's some that are interesting. We've got a good agent, thankfully. Very proactive at looking at stuff and going, okay, problem that's gonna need. Railings aren't close enough on your stairs down into the basement. That it's like aggressively icky. Yes, good, fantastic. Anything that we don't notice, she does. But yeah, you some shit when you're telling me that you bought a house recently. An older house, you know, early 1900s, late 80s. And it had a dirt basement, like an unfinished basement, so dirt floor. Okay. You know, some of the older houses, that happens, and people have not sealed them off, and okie dokie. But apparently there was kind of a pit in the middle of the floor. There were bones in the pit, and I was like, oh, that is just... We're getting Silence of the Lambs vibes going here. We did not see that house with her. And she went, okay, it's time to go. We are leaving. Yeah, it is very special. We've seen two older houses that were 1800s that have the stone basements, the stone foundations, like actually the stones. And two of them had like these cutouts in the wall. One of them was, if I'm remembering correctly, to access the plumbing that was in the kitchen, because sort of directly above that area. But it looked, there wasn't any light in there. So it was just like this little cave inside of the base, and it looked like something out of, I'm trying to think of what the horror movie is, where like they go caving, they get sort of trapped down there, weird, with like no eyes, faces. They're man-eating warlock creatures. Scent, maybe? I feel like that might have been. But the little weird cave for the kitchen plumbing gave those vibes. And then there was one that it was a slightly more modern basement. But it also had a weird little cave off to the side. It still had the stone foundation, had a weird cave, and I didn't go in it that one. I went other half, and he turned the light on his cell phone for flashlight, and went in and went, oh, that's interesting. He came out, I'm like, what's up? There's a chainsaw just sort of sitting on the floor. That was another one that we're like, I think we're done. So it has been an experience for sure. Not particularly. Like, I am totes cool with older houses. I think, honestly, they have a lot more soul and character to them than modern builds. I mean, plus you've got wood that's got, like, the really dense growth rings. Modern houses, lumber, crap, they're not together, because, you know, build the housing industry is all about build them fast, build them cheap. So I find that the quality of the materials and not quite up to snuff. But while I am okay with older houses, I am not okay with murder rooms or Texas Chainsaw vibes. I don't mind ghosts. We saw a beautiful classic, I think it was Victorian, the 1800s. It looked like one of the old painted lady houses. Beautiful, beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Diamond in the Rough definitely needs work. I could totally see that house having ghosts. But I feel like they would be inquisitive, friendly, curious ghosts. When you're talking about haunted with, like, the souls of murdered victims, yeah, I'm good. That becomes a hard pass for me. Like, oh, there will be wailing ghosts dreaming of being murdered while we sleep. I have enough sleeping at necessarily, you know, axe murder victims trying to get me to solve their cases. I have many talents. Solving murder is not one of them. Yeah, Victorian would probably be poisoned. Ooh. Sorry, I have a cut on my finger and I've got a little band-aid thing. So that I do not get clay in and right? There was one that was in really good condition. Like, you could tell that it had been loved. It killed me to have to say no to that one because the electric had been updated to 220. Say the roof had been done relatively recently. The furnace had they upkept the septic, serviced recently. So it was gorgeous, and it was obviously the home of a crafter, because they had a craft room. I was like, perfect. They had gotten 30,000 above asking, and I was like, nope. Nope. Cannot do. So. Absolutely. Oh, something will come up. It's honestly just a numbers game, you know? Like, we will find the house we're meant to get. It happened. Thankfully, not in a case where it's like a week tomorrow. Sooner would be better, but we are currently in that. I wouldn't say a glut, but a surplus of stock that comes trying to or between. In theory, very options. A lot of stuff on. I'm actually surprised at the prices quantity of currently on. But pricing. But you can definitely tell, lift this a little bit. You can tell who has a real estate agent that is, oh, hello spine, crack, crack, crack. You can tell who has a real estate agent that is still working on, COVID or pre-pricing agent operating or recent pricing expectations. So it's fine. One that we ran on. Bids over asking. Like, alright, well, it's cute. Face. Could be often. However, older side definitely placed with 5 years, and that's and the family had already moved and accepted a job offer elsewhere out of state. So like they weren't looking to do anything or remediate any of that, and offers offer any kind of concessions. Alright, well, not for us. I can paint, I can hang drywall, I can assist putting in wood floors, bamboo floors in the old house, which were cool. But you start talking about like electrical or roofing or that's a big me. Nope. And I mean, fence it right as you've been, you know, a couple of road is one, but and going, hey, you need a roof in the next year. Like, that's a big one when you are just moving in. Or oh yeah, absolutely. Like roof is never one that you want to have to suddenly have pop up on you. But right after you signed on it and well, roof's a big one, furnace is a big one, electrical big one for me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you at least on single shingles, or are there multiple layers on it already? Not a fun one. As smooth as I would like for the molding at least. Alright, well. Depending on the age of the roof, single layer, you could put another layer on there and be okay for a while longer. Depends on how long you're on staying. Yeah. Yeah, right, that's fair. Be temporary. Yes, that is completely understandable. Another friend paid off her mortgage. Oh, and now she's like, I get calls all the time with always, nope, no thanks. Because I mean, realistically speaking, mortgage rates are ridiculous now. Housing prices are right now. So it's one of those, why would I go from already paid off and not having to worry about it to congrats. You have another mortgage. So wait, did you pay off your mortgage in 5 years? Because if so, dude, I want to pick your brain, teach me. Holy crap. Woof. Nice. Though I suspect a chunk of it is don't have off. About car Serenity. 23. Holy crap, 23 years old. And she's a girl, I live in dread for when she finally gives me a repair bill that is um beyond the worth of investing and fixing her. Right now, with used car prices what they are, um kept date for belts, all that. Um but like if her transmission, knock wood. Hopefully not until I lie, I don't want it to crap out even then, but hopefully at least survive until eventually there's gonna get a used car and ugh. They really don't. Dude, I'm looking at used cars and they're useless. I would love to look at like I know this makes SUV mileage is really good. Hybrid vehicle. Honestly with the long trip I think it would have. But there are some SUVs. Well, part of it is not really good. They're just oh, which I completely understand. That's the whole reason driving Serenity got on her 260, and she's still trucking along, dependably gas mileage, and she's got enough trunk space for pensions. She is going to get literally driven in the ground. I will drive her until I longer drive her. And we have a friend who's a vehicle miles and more maintenance. So yeah, same. I've got friends who are like, oh, I'm gonna leave one after 3 years. new car. And I'm like, I get it. You want something that theoretically doesn't have, the problems or the upkeep, maintenance of an older vehicle. Um, kind of like knowing all the little quirks of my car and knowing what I'm driving and knowing what headaches, can potentially pop up. Yeah, my having a shiny new car is not my top 10 or top 20 priorities. If it's dependable, if it gas mileage, if it's sturdy and like out of state drives, long drives multiple times a year, and is safe driving on in that car. And I frankly don't care what the outside looks like. I don't. It's dependable on truck. It's funny because I drive a Pontiac Vibe, and I think the reason I like her so much is it is a. Remember what our mechanic friend said. I want to say he said it's basically a Pontiac shell with a Toyota engine, like Toyota guts. Which makes a lot of sense. It's why she keeps on trucking. It's why God, daughter used had her for a decade, longer. Yeah, yeah. Vehicle. Got the hatchback. She's got a good sized trunk, so my con kit fits in there. Got a whole row of back seats. We have driven her to AC more times than I can count with, all of my crap, all of his crap, all of the kids' crap. And until we got Hope, we were, for a while there, bringing Wilder to the con, so, there was enough room, barely, on the seat next to the kid for the dog. And we were still getting, 40 highway. I'm going to miss seeing people at AC. I have to go to paycheck. It's the summer paycheck, but it was weird last year. It's going to be even weirder. I'm seeing more and more of the regulars. Oh, pardon me. Say that they are skipping AC this year. Because of expenses in general, and we're in not great time financially. We're a little more concerned with paying their bills, which I get, but also because of expenses, of hotel expenses in particular. And it makes me kind of wince because it's true. I appreciate that AC gets, dealer rates for the dealers and just in general, better hotel rates for attendees. Con rate, that's awesome. But even at the con rate, it stacks up. If I were not going and rooming with multiple other artist friends, I'd probably be priced out of AC. Got your registration, got your table expenses, going up every year. And I mean, to be fair, furry cons try and keep them more affordable than, say, anime cons. But it's still not up to 100, like that, for one full table. And then you've got your registration on top of that. And then, if you have a dealer assistant, which, I've got the kiddo, it's their registration on top of that, plus your hotel, plus your food, gas. Finally over $4 a gallon on gas. And before, I still had a quarter of a tank, and it was still. Serenity has like an 11-gallon gas tank. It's couch. I am not looking forward to seeing what gas prices are going to be like 4th of July weekend. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him for not. I'm sad. I miss y'all. Definitely miss our land of some maple syrup friends. But I cannot say I blame them. Going, gonna skip the holy shit. Speaking of Fuzzy. Hey Rat. How you doing, sweetie? Haven't seen or heard from you in forever. Yeah, I do not blame our Canadian friends for going, I'm gonna stick to like cons or just not doing cons, cause I'm sorry. I really do apologize for the ads. I actually have my settings to not do constant ad breaks. But Twitch has their own little like little puckery. Dude, I don't blame you. Things are crazy around here, yo. All of our Canadian friends are like, let's not go to Camelot. It's a crazy place, and not in a good way. Leave me, as one of those trapped in the asylum. I hear you. Oh no, I mean, I'm sorry for I'm being Canadian. I'm apologizing for things that I don't have control over. I not vote for the current situation, we'll say. I'll be polite. Oh yeah, my français is not very parlez-vous. Ironically enough, kid was able to choose their language for high school this year. And I figured they were gonna Spanish because that's what they'd been doing for the past couple of years in middle school. Nope, French. And I was like, oh, cool. We need to flee to Canada. You'll be able to explain what's going on to border control while mommy and daddy are going, Oh, for crying out loud. Sorry, my auto mod is like, oh, he's not insulting the French mod. He's saying that his French is ass. His French, his ability to speak French. Not that French people are asses. Yeah, but if you're looking at at immigration, I believe speaking French, I don't think it's mandatory, but it does if you're trying to get the hell out of Dodge. Right. Oh, believe me, friends, I've been looking. Irish on mum's side, and I was like, how many generations qualify for? My friend, I am right there with you. It's funny too, because it's one of those things where like, oh, this has such great potential. stay off. I can't say as I blame them. I'm not entirely convinced that that isn't why hasn't decided to learn French instead of Spanish or something else. Oh well, just in. Oh, my baby. I know. I am freaked out and nervous too. I'm getting upset. Bothering. Thing is, from what I am given to understand, Canada has its own version of the Evil Orange, their party, that are trying to bring that full puckery the land of mousse and maple syrup. Like, just stop. Oh, well, that's good at least. Like, oh no, maybe we don't want that BS. Never mind. It's been not a good experiment, but an interesting experiment because, yeah. I think there was a lot of assumption as that, like, oh, well, there we go. If I'm looking at it from the back, um, I think there was a lot of assumption that, oh, there's checks and balances in the guardrails, and uh, people just assumed it was okay, everything was fine. Suddenly, we realize that, oh, hey, as it turns out, if you have someone that just doesn't care about the, even the rules, but, well, I mean, yes, the rules, but conventions of fallacy, kindness, and not cheating, that suddenly, oh crap, those guardrails don't actually mean a whole heck of. And things get a little bit too exciting. However, maybe times I would like to live in much more boring, less interesting times. So the funny thing is, when I was much younger, like um, my father loved to go to Atlantic City for the weekend, or the week. That was a lot of our family vacations. But that's neither there. So we would go to Atlantic City. That's what I remember as a child. Or then anything else was Atlantic. Stay at the fanciest you could manage. Boardwalk, big mall, this big floating mall, Ocean One, or at least not been there. And I was so excited. Dad would poker. I would get to play spades and stuff like that. but I have vivid memories. Hello! I am working on remaking, or patching up Jackalope that I tried molding. I had plaster, so I managed to get one semi-okay cast on. And now I have that cast, so I can try molding again. I remember one year us. Hi, Halo. Hope y'all are doing well. I have a good memory of getting a reservation, staying at a Trump hotel, and I remember walking through it as a child. I remember walking to breakfast. I remember really big strawberries. Walking to the breakfast pillars. It was, you know, oh, it's gold. I remember big just splot. Oh, that it was just junk underneath. And if that isn't sort of a nod to essentially what we're dealing with now. Toast! Oh, I love it! You totally gotta send me pics. So then my question is going to be, how are the other two getting along with Toast? All peace and happiness, or are we still in the hissy pissy getting used to the new siblings? Still kind of back and forth with Dale. Days that everything's fine, I will find him curled up with the dogs or the other cats. And then there's days that he decides he's super energetic and wants to play and will attempt to wrestle the two. And you've got like the chunky pillow lesbian, which lesbian? Neither of them want to deal with his shit, so it's his butt kicked pretty often. Wait, y'all haven't moved yet, have you? I thought that wasn't until October. Alright, so I mean, at least, you know, at least not hissing and spitting and battling. That's something. I'm glad he's got a little, or an older brother that he can hang out with, though, that he gets along with. Tries so hard. Wants to just snuggly and lovey with everyone and romping and playful with. Cassie is 7? No, she will be 7. July. Ivy is, let's say, I would think at the very least Ivy would have with him. She's very, she's very lesbian. She's like, no, boys are icky. Aww, that's adorable. Well, I'm glad he's got a good and loving home now. Here for it. I count the number of times that I see her reaching out looking for people to foster. Kitten season! All the babies! Carving away at this. Oh no, okay. There's. Actually, I don't know what that is. Oh no, yes I do. That's plaster. Okay, that's what. You're like, I have this hard lump in. Alright. I'm trying really hard not to get OCD about smoothing everything, because I'm going to do that when it's a little drier, and then that'll be easier, but also some work. So how is everything with folks doing? I'm trying to access memory banks. Fuzzy, are you still doing classes? How are those going? Halo, how is the hubby doing? Oh, nice. Okay. Arg. It's funny. School. Number of times Cass has just gone on off on them and gone, well, actually, generative AI is really bad and it's incredibly harmful, and here's like 18 different articles that talk about all the different harms. They had their history teacher try very hard to encourage them to do the men club. They actually get to go to Washington and ask questions, delegates. This was just like, nope. Wait and talk about things I'm passionate, but and stuff is just a whole different trash firebomb, and it's like I entirely just. Okay, there we go. Way smooth. Probably get meth infection. It's okay. Yep. But, well, I mean, I've tried to actually have conversations with people sometimes. Like, all right, well, I am not an impartial third party because I am an artist, and generative AI in art is actively harmful to myself and other fellow artists who are trying to make a living. Because art theft bot, it is stealing people's hard work, you know, and using it to teach itself. Oh, Drek. But even from the stand of AI chatbots, standpoint of AI making adult videos or photos of that are not in fact adults or of the age of consent. AI data center screwing over the color and more economically oppressed communities and communities in general. Our state electric rates are absolutely ridiculous. They're like the highest in the country, and we've got multiple days. Like, how about tax them and have them pay? They actually are giving. Part of the problem is that so tech bros have invested so much and invested so much, they are desperate to opt it, and nobody seems to want it aside from a small handful of tech bros. nobody with using it, but they're shoving it down everyone's throat because it's the only way they can hope to kind of return investment. And 5-10 years down the road, all these data centers are going to be deserts. Of act environment, the economy. Not sustainable. Pardon me for one moment, friends. I'm going to go rinse out my sponge because it's starting to get chunky and get some more water. Okay. Dry, and you add the cold, and it's worse. But even in the spring and summer months, as much as I love ceramic clay, I do not love how gross my hands feel after a sculpting session. It's like, okay, let me go just submerge my hands up to the wrist in moisturizer. Like when I'm doing leather working with the Vegetan leather and I soak it and then I'm shaping it and all of the tannins in the leather are getting into the water and they make me feel like, you know, that icky dry feeling where you don't want to touch cloth or anything rough? Or is that just that may be an 80? I don't know. I'm starting to learn all sorts of stuff. It's like, oh, not everyone does that? Okay. Okay. Much better. I like the ears. Or I don't want to. Need to. I'm sitting here going, do I want to carve out the eyes, smooth out the sockets, and re-roll clay balls, redo the eyes? I really don't. I don't because it's more work, but it is, I don't want to. However, good part is, oh, this squishy to roll in a ball. Only I had some powder or something. Well, I corn stairs. I don't want to go all the way upstairs. Okay, wait. let's make powder. Ground up red clay that is. Okay. I don't want to carve out the eye socket. No, but I know that if I try and just clean the hair, it's probably going to be more work and take more time than just scooping out his eyeballs Raven style and reinstalling. It is good. I look forward to a time when shit isn't crazy. Things are better. I think. again, the average person buying the art is going to go, oh, cool, jackalope. They're not going to go, hey, one ear is 1/4 millimeter thicker than the other. One eyeball is fraction. And yet, brain looks at them and goes, no, eye's not size. Bad. Horrible. Alright. Up a little. Yeah, I know. I know that logically. I know that from a biological standpoint. I know that from, like, just nature. Art, it's like, no! Bad! We have to really remind ourselves. In nature. Hey. Gouging. Sorry, friend. Incidentally, Zay, the things that I was sculpting holes in them, I totally have those. I have not forgotten about those. They are sitting in my bin of things that are dry and ready to fire. But the my own. FYI. Fired. Super vague. Stuff and things and stuff. Versus yes, I'm still sitting about the ears. Yes, I know. Please. Okay, I am adding another moisture. Definitely gonna clean it up and polish it past it, but that's okay. Done. Plaster, so time around. Solid. Going to mold beautifully. You hear me? Beautifully. No issues. No headaches. About doing 5 trillion times. Someone I went to high school with was part of the team that worked on the statue outside of their giant life-sized Borosaurus. Entire body, the skin is all little. Funny because they at one point out to Hollywood special effects and decided that they missed actual life and not having to wake up at 2 in the morning to up call time, working at all hours of the life. Yeah. I applaud the movie industry is insane. That personal time important. Sorry, I'm just like a bit dismayed at how much of base cast kind of terribly. Ironically, fixing this is still ultimately faster than starting from scratch. Getting the general shape, parts where you want them, getting it lined up is way more time stuff, but like, oh. That's alright though. Mistakes happen for a reason. Learned something by dealing with the mistakes on this. A better, perfect way. Mix my plaster or my mold. I really also want to. Alright, so I need suggestion. Echolope. With the theme for Anthrocon this year being. What else would be a fun gimmick? Or, I mean, polymer clay either. So many artists about Mothman. That I kind of wanna not necessarily avoid doing Mothman, but if I do doing it like Ted Moth or Maple Moth. Oh yeah, Warpletanger. Wait, is that a suggestion or is that a question as to what a warp? No, the hair. I am presuming that was a suggestion. Yeah, well that's the intent with him, is that I'm going to slipcast, and the way I'm doing it is I'm slipcasting and there'll be like little divots, open spots for the antlers. And so I will cast a number of them as jackalopes, and then I'll cast a couple, and I'm gonna mold little flat wings, a right and a left, so that I'll be able to take the slipcast jackalopes and give them the fingers. Because it's adorable. I'm trying to think of the problem I always run into. I want to do critters that are popular that people like and want to see, but also I don't want to do the exact same ones that everybody else is doing. So it's like, oh look, it's another Mothman. Oh look, it's another Loch Ness monster. There comes a point where it's like, all right, there are other cryptids. You've got ESP. I was just. Chupacabra could be. It's funny because there's so many that have like multiple different versions of what people think they look like. So. I have a large puppet planned for art show. Similar actually to the wearable puppet that I had done for Halo. Or no, sorry, Saber. I say similar, not that it is a fox, but similar that it is going to be a puppet. Boof, 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 boof. Either someone has dared to walk down the street, or Eddie is home with it. Wait, 6 o'clock. Whoops. It's funny, I didn't realize it, but in Googling and searching for cryptids, and specifically for lesser known cryptids, came across one that has the most absurd freaking name and is apparently a Maryland specific one. I was like, Maryland has their own cryptid? How cool. It's called a snallygaster. And it's the name that made me go, oh, wait a It is bird type thing with tentacles. Some of them show bat wings, and some of them show bird wings, but it is an interesting looking beastie for sure. Right? I was like, that is a fantastic. Love it. Oh yeah, I'm sure every state has one. Connecticut has one. We've got if I remember correctly, it's the black dog. Bork, bork, bork. I don't hear the door opening, which tells me it's not Daddy, it's the neighborhood kid daring ride by on their bikes, and heaven forbid. Yeah, puppies. I hate to be the one to tell. Hi, Wilder. Hello, sweet boy. I hate to be the one to tell you, you actually think you do. Yes, I know. Sorry. I'm but actually making progress. Erg. Boof. The neighborhood kids in particular have decided that they really like playing basketball or, whatever right in front of our house because they like to set the dogs off. But every once in a while they'll be playing and the basketball will go a little far and it'll end up on our lawn. And you can see them on the community cam where they just kind of look at each other and walk into their house or walk down the street and walk away, and they're like, nope, and they leave the basketball. We've had to toss it back into the yard because they love poking at the dogs, but only from a safe distance. And like, I get it. Wilder excited barks just because he wants to. He's a herding breed. He needs to let us know that, hey, mother, father, there is a thing on our property. Aware of it. Hope boofs, and when she gets really excited, she sounds like a hellhound. She's very sweet. But yeah, their bravery only extends so far as, the street or the sidewalk further. Because what if she comes crashing through the front door and eats their souls? I don't know. Ooh. Okay, that was a bit nerve-wracking. Hello, Hopers. Okay. Oh, here. She's got the most soulful brown eyes. Oh. And she's tall enough that she'll walk over and just flop her head down in my lap and pathetic look like, mother. I am bereft of pets. No one has pet me ever in my entire life. It's for to give love, attention, affection. I shall perish. Not only do we need pets or attention. Never. Never. They never had a good entire existence. Cruel. Funny. She's 70-ish pounds? Question mark. I don't know. We haven't had a scale in a little bit, and she's not due for her vet checkup until November. But she's a 570-pound, and I don't know if it's a pity thing because I've never had a pit or a pit mix before. And she's got some of the boniest freaking elbows of any dog life. And she wants to jump up into your lap and snuggle and cuddle with you because she is of the opinion that she's a lap dog. Just up to some debate. Be a lapdog with daddy. Always inevitably kills me like right in the upper thigh muscle. Oh, girly, you're killing me. I suppose it could be worse. But Clint jumping up, affection and love, ending all sounds of her happens. That for a bit. Concept. Okay, okay. So I didn't love having to well, I mean, yeah, functionally redo, because the amount of time I'm putting it on this is... I think I'm actually the face better this round, so fairly bad thing that the cast went pear-shaped. Ugh. Ooh! Pop, 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 as I sit up, and all the vertebrae kind of snap, crackle, and pop into place. Pause. Don't want to stop because I'm kind of in, but also pets and the small humans involved in their stuff. The fact that 2 hours. Which, I mean, real. That. Smooth this part. Smooth this back of the head and back part. Stop. It's hard. It's hard when it's hard when it's a piece that a bit more to it before done. Oh. I mean, at the very least, the cleanup is good. Getting there. I will be moving this not tonight, but tomorrow. I wanna let it sit overnight and dry. Details. Holding it and clean casts. Bird? Pack? Cluster? Collective noun for the cryptids would be. Alright. That is nice and... Yeah. Tastes nice. But... progress. Feet are gonna be the biggest pain in the butt, and those are definitely gonna... later, when they... getting there. That's okay. Holes. I lie. white in the Ruh-roh. So out of curiosity, does me going depend entirely on me getting say, does that mean that MFF is likely a no-go for you this year as well? Things need to get less order finance. I get it. Don't want to sneak in crazy town. I hear that. Percent. Buzz, what Canadian con are you? Ah, cool. Are you gonna go and sneak? Better at least, right? Oh, I remember them. Yep. of his emotional support container. I've never been. I've heard good things about Fur Ed, though. I'd like to do a Canadian con one of these. I feel like it would have to be a just going for funsies, from what I am given to understanding at Canadian cons as a American is definitely key. Yeah, but I mean, comparing any convention to AC and MFF is like comparing Disney World to like flags. You know what I mean? It's a completely different animal. It's apples and oranges. Yeah, fair enough. Sitting here and I'm still fussing with this, but woof. Woof, woof. Yep, there they go again. Kids across the street deciding that it's a good idea to stand correctly. Back and forth. Alright. Gonna bork at ya. Oh. Alright. They are not coming down about dinner anyway, so I'm gonna say bye for now. There we go. Haha. Love y'all. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. I hope you have a good holiday weekend. Get some downtime, chill out time, relax, recharge, and I'll hopefully see you